Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to another exercise tutorial from our tutorial playlist of chapter 3 from our managerial accounting course ACCT 428. This is Mohammed Al-Jabir, and in this video we're going to be looking at exercise 3-5A. So let's read the exercise together. It says, information concerning a product produced by Hansen Company appears here, and we have the sales price per unit, $180, variable cost per unit, $100, and the total annual fixed manufacturing and operating costs, $720,000. So what's required? Determine the following. A, contribution margin per unit. Okay, so this is simple. We do have the sales price per unit. We do have the variable cost per unit, so we can simply find the contribution margin per unit, and that would be sales price per unit, $180, less the variable cost per unit, which is $100. That would give us contribution margin per unit, which would be $80. Okay, so that is the first requirement A. B, number of units that Hansen must sell to break even. So basically they want us to calculate the break even units, okay, or the break-even point in units. All right, so that's going to be B. And since we already have calculated the contribution margin per unit, it just makes sense to use the contribution margin method, which states that the break-even in units equals the fixed costs divided by the contribution margin per unit. Okay, that means we need this figure right here, $720,000, $720,000 divided by the contribution margin per unit, which we just calculated in the previous part, which is $80. Okay, so we go to our calculator, $720,000 divided by 80, that's 9,000 units. What does that mean? That means that the company needs to sell 9,000 units in order to break even, meaning that at this particular level of sales, they will have revenues that exactly match their total costs. All right, so their profit is going to be zero in that case. All right, so that's requirement B. Let's go to the last part C. It says sales level in units that Hansen must reach to earn a profit of $240,000. Okay, so now they want us to analyze or figure out the level of sales that the company needs to achieve in order to target a profit or achieve a profit of $240,000. So we're going to use a similar formula. However, this time, well, basically it's the same formula, but I'll show you in a second. So that's going to be the required sales in units, or we can call it target sales in units. That's going to be the fixed costs plus the target profit or the desired profits, or you can just write profits. It's all the same thing. Okay, divided by the contribution margin per unit. Okay, you notice it's the same formula. The only thing that we've done is that we've changed this, because this is no longer going to be the break-even point. This is going to be the sales that the company needs to achieve in order to achieve a target profit, right? So the only thing that we've changed is that we added the target profit here. Okay, and of course change the description right here, because we're calculating a different thing. All right, so now let's substitute the fixed cost, again $720,000, plus the target profit, which is $240,000. And the contribution margin per unit is still the same, which is $80. Okay, run our numbers in a calculator. So that's going to be $720,000 plus $240,000. That's going to be $960,000 divided by 80. And the answer is going to be 12,000 units. We forgot the S right here. So 12,000 units. What does that mean? That means that the company needs to achieve 12,000 units sold. They need to sell 12,000 units in order to achieve this target profit that they want, which is $240,000. Okay, that's it for this exercise. Pretty straightforward. As long as you know the formula for the break-even, or to find the break-even in units, and to find the required sales in units, especially since we use the contribution margin per unit, or we found the contribution margin per unit in the first requirements. We just use the contribution margin method in order to find requirements B and C. Hopefully you found this video useful. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them down in the comments. This is how you do exercise 3-5A. This was Mohammed Al-Jaber, and until I see you in the next exercise tutorial, keep on learning and take care.